I'm frustrated, lads. I am. I want to start out by saying, obviously, I love Jurgen Klopp. I love the boys in our squad. Love the team. But it's just not good enough. It just isn't good enough. I don't know where to aim my anger right now. Because it's not solely the owner's fault. Although they have a huge part to play in it. I'm also getting a pain in my arse with Klopp and SCHMADTKE and Hogan and the scouts and everybody else that's involved in recruitment, because we are nothing but excuse makers. We are embarrassingly disorganized. We are a laughing stock at how we've approached this window, and trying to put those words together in a way that doesn't just make me sound salty and like an ungrateful asshole is difficult. But I really, really am perplexed as to how on earth a multi-million pound organisation can be so disorganised. I wouldn't allow it in my own life. I wouldn't allow it in my business. And I fail to see how we should allow it as football supporters when those at the very top of the club, those who can impact all of our moods, all of our thought processes moving forward, are just failing. And that's what's happened again in this window. We have been let down. We've been let down by the owners. We've been let down at times by our manager not having a backbone and speaking out. And ultimately, we know what's going to happen. We will have points in this season where the lack of this squad depth and the lack of recruitment bites us in the ass. And we know Klopp will get snotty about it. And we know he'll have some snide words to say to the fans or anybody else that calls him out on the fact that this was plainly obvious to the rest of us. This video is sponsored by Manscaped, the best in men's grooming. Manscaped is known for their elite bald skills, a little bit like myself. But with the beard hedger, they're helping people notice that pretty face too. Our friends at Manscaped are now focusing on their off-the-ball movement with their Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The Beard Hedger face trimmer is a waterproof, cordless trimmer which has 20 haircutting lengths, all with just one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The trimmer has a titanium-coated T-blade which is tough on hair but smooth on your face. Just because Manscaped have moved away from the groin doesn't mean they've lost track of the ball, unlike Joe Gomez. They still have the Lawnmower 4.0, the best hygiene tool to help you keep the grass on the pitch the perfect length. The Lawnmower 4.0 ceramic blade reduces cuts and nicks in your most sensitive areas. Unlike me, the trimmer's battery lasts 90 minutes, meaning you could shave your nether regions the length of an entire match if you wanted. You can get a wide range of packages and products at manscaped.com. What's more, you can get 20% off and free delivery using our code Anfield20 at manscaped.com. Celebrate the new season of the beautiful game with your newly beautiful balls and face. I don't know why they say newly beautiful. My face is always beautiful. Look at it. It's amazing. So I guess the first thing I want to say tonight is, how are we here? How is this acceptable? How are we at the very, very end of an era-defining transfer window? And once again, we're scraping around for cheap-ass deals or last-minute bargains, or it's just disorganised. It's not good enough. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable in any walk of life, let alone something as valuable to so many people as Liverpool Football Club. It's pathetic. It is going to be a long season ahead. It is. And it really is just a joke. How can you have a year to prepare and still be scraping around with 3 days to go? They might as well make the transfer window a week, because it seems like only business is really done at the start and at the end of it when it comes to us. And I'm absolutely fuming at the minute. Even with the standard of players that we're being linked to. Where's the ambition? When do we act like a big club? It's going beyond the beyond now. We're sitting around trying to justify to ourselves the potential idea of signing Ryan Gravenberch. Let's be blunt about it. Gravenberch ain't good enough. He's not good enough for Bayern, and he definitely isn't going to be good enough for us. It's the cheap ass way out again. We're talking about potential signings in midfield that are just nowhere near of the calibre we should be looking to bring in. And it's because of our owners being cheap. And I don't get it. I don't get how they're getting away with it again. And look, you know and I know that there's going to be excuses. There's going to be moments this season where Klopp turns on us for little moments because, you know, we dare call out the stuff that we know is going to happen. And it's already happened. We're 3 games into a season. We've been very, very fortunate to win 2 games and draw 1. But let nobody be unclear here. We're papering over the cracks. Chill, Craig. Gravenberch can be a very good player, especially on the Klopp. No, I won't chill. He's shite. Like, let's be fucking honest. We're so browbeaten as football fans that we're trying to justify accepting this shite. And that's what it is. Liverpool Football Club shouldn't be shopping around in bargain basements trying to get Bayern Munich's cast-offs. I shouldn't have to accept that. But we could see this coming a mile away. I told you all through the window we'd somehow end up with the cheap option at the end of the window. And I shouldn't have to chill. And I shouldn't have to hope Klopp works a miracle. I should be able to look at our summer transfer business as a fan and go, yeah, we're happy. We did what we can do. But we haven't done what we can do. And we're going to have more close shaves. And we're going to have more periods of this season where we don't have a good enough squad. And we're going to be moaned at by other fans for having the cheek to call it out. They have failed. Again, they have failed you. They have failed me. They have failed the manager. It's pathetic. Whichever way we try to dress this up and however they try to spin it, I'm going to say the same thing that I've said all through the window because it's the most straightforward, honest way I can be. We have got rid of 8 players and brought in 3. However, these assholes in the media and anybody else that wants to try and tug the club's fucking nuts want to tell us that this has been successful, it hasn't its ass. It's been a shambles. We're an embarrassment. We've been absolutely mugged off by Chelsea with the 2 signings they took from us. And we're still sitting here trying to figure out, is there a centre-back we're interested in when Jurgen has told us the whole fucking window he wants a centre-back? It's a joke. And some of our fans are so used to mediocrity in the window that they accept it. That they think that that's standard. That they believe that we don't have money. We have plenty of money as a football club. John W. Henry just chooses not to spend it. It's that simple. So tonight, let's start off with a conversation around SCHMADTKE, who I'm sure you're aware was left out of Crystal Palace's squad for their League Cup game tonight against Plymouth. Now, I don't know if that means anything or nothing. I really don't know. He's left out, I think Elise was left out and Anderson. They were the 3 main players, I think, that were left out of Crystal Palace's matchday squad. So there was a report comes out by a crowd called SZ, and they've said Liverpool have reportedly submitted a contract offer to Crystal Palace midfielder SCHMADTKE. A report by SZ, who by the way were one of the first people to call the interest of Mohamed Salah from Al Ittihad and get a bit of a glowing reference from Get French Football News, said that Liverpool want to sign a player to fill the number 6 role before Friday's deadline and have Doucouré as a player on their list of options. It remains to be seen if a deal for the Malayan materialises in the coming days. So, stop me if you've heard this one before. How many times this summer have you heard that Liverpool have agreed a structure with the player? Because I remember being told that it wasn't going to be an issue for half the players we were linked with, the wages, that Liverpool had come to an agreement with those players. But the big agreement that you need to come to is with the club. It's with the selling club. Obviously, we're going to be able to pay Doucouré more than Crystal Palace have. That's not going to be rocket science. But once again, we're being manoeuvred into a balderdash, a supermarket sweep end to the transfer window where we as fans get so worked up and frustrated that we end up accepting any old shite that comes in at the end of the window, like Ozan Kabak, like Ben Davies, like Arthur Mello. And again, this is going to somehow be a surprise to people that FSG have shafted us. It's a joke. You're a joke, John. Sell the club. You've got zero ambition. You're a disgrace of an owner. Get Schmadtke sacked, said Freedom Journey. What on earth has that man done this summer? I'm reading articles saying things like George Schmadtke is still busy trying to do X, Y and Z. What the fuck has he been doing? He has one job. Recruit players. One job. 3 months to do it. And what has he done? He's triggered 2 release clauses and brought in a 30-year-old. That's the extent of this man's genius this window. Honestly, Craig, I don't blame George. He's come into a club being run like Oliver Twist, wanting more food. Then George should have just said, you know what, this is a joke, I'm out of here. Like, we keep making excuses for the failures. We keep trying to find a reason why it's not down to Klopp. Or it's not. Klopp is part of this problem. And we have to be able, as fans, to look at this and think, Jurgen Klopp the coach, we love. Jurgen Klopp the man manager, we love. But Jurgen Klopp, the decision maker over transfers, is either part of the problem or we're being deluded. It's not one window, it's not 2 windows, it's every goddamn window. We're left scrambling around at the end of it with our nuts in our hand going, how the fuck did we get here? I love Jurgen Klopp as a coach, as a manager, but he's not fit to be running transfers if this is what we end up with. He's not fit. Let him do what he does, which is take care of business on the pitch, take care of coaching the players and managing that, and put somebody in the role that actually has responsibility and is going to be held to account for the failures. Because that's what this has been. Failure after failure. The people who are supposed to be geniuses, who are heralded as the smartest men in football, are either really, really dumb, or this is a manipulation of us yet again. And I don't think they're dumb. You don't get to become a billionaire by being thick, unless you're named Donald. Virgil van Dijk is suspended for the game coming up against Aston Villa on Sunday. He may also have an additional game suspension because he has been charged by the FA for improper conduct following his refusal to leave the pitch and apparently some foul-mouthed language to the referee. And you know what? I've got no sympathy for him. None. He acted that way. Much like when Darwin got himself sent off and we moaned at him. I'm not happy with Virgil van Dijk because he and he alone has added a potential second game to his suspension, which is stupidity of the highest order. You're the goddamn club captain. So rather than us all trying to just moan at the PGMOL, let's again look at this and take some fucking responsibility. Virgil van Dijk's Liverpool's captain. You act like a captain. Referees should be treated with respect. We can argue as fans about disagreeing with their decisions, but ultimately he has talked himself into an FA charge and a potential ban of another game. And for what? When has a referee ever changed their mind on a football pitch? He was given the red card. Yes, you wait around a certain length of time and then you wait to see if VAR were going to step in. VAR clearly weren't stepping in and Van Dijk kept mouthing off. And now we're without Van Dijk for possibly 2 games. We're without Kanade for at least 1 game, maybe another one, depending on how he gets back from injury. That's stupidity. That's not putting the team first. That's not being a leader. That's not looking out for your teammates. That's being stupid and petty. Joe Gomez. It looks like there's a couple of clubs interested in Joe Gomez. So there's the Al Ittihad stuff. And there's now West Ham, who are apparently interested because Manchester United aren't going to sell Maguire because of the injury to Rafa Varane. At least, now, United fans, if I'm wrong on that, open to being corrected. Again, I'm baffled. We're being linked with potentially losing defenders. And look, in the grand scheme of things, lads, I'm not upset about the idea of losing Joe Gomez. I'm not. I'm still baffling. Can anybody give me a rational answer? Look, losing Gomez this late in the window would be tough because you'd have to replace him. And I'm not very confident of that happening. I truly, like as I was going to say to you a moment ago, can anybody give me a rational reason why they believe maybe Liverpool haven't signed a defender yet? Because whatever the conjecture or whatever the media speculation, we do have our manager's own words that he wants to add a defender. So I can understand some of the stuff in the media and us talking about it and it maybe not coming to fruition. I can get that. But I can't understand how Klopp wants a defender, has wanted since the start of the window, and to the best of my knowledge, we haven't made an offer for a single one. I can't get my head around that. Is it not on Jurgen Klopp to put more pressure on FSG than he has? I would say it is, Finch, yes. And that's one of my big gripes with Jurgen Klopp, is that he does seem like he's a bit of a yes man to the owners, which in any other walk of life you'd nearly appreciate it, but not in this, not when his legacy's on the line. I get that he likes to coach players, I get that he likes to bring players through, but you have to mix that up with a little bit of magic dust. And again, 8 players out and 3 players in does not improve your squad shape. You're not moaning, you speak up with you 100%, said Matthew. Thank you. I really appreciate that, because sometimes when I come on and see people say shut up moaning, I feel like just ending the stream, because I'm not here to listen to abuse. I'm here because I'm honestly upset, and because I want to share my viewpoint with my fellow Liverpool fans and hope to get their viewpoints back. So if you disagree with me, that's no problem, but just put it into a post and tell me why you disagree with me, rather than just telling me to stop moaning. Like, if we sign Gravenberch, it is the most Liverpool FSG transfer window signing ever. Somebody who we knew at the start of the window we were probably going to end up going back in for the reason that he's cheap. That will be it. Why do we always have to take a punt as fans? Why do we always have to say, I wonder if this person will come in and do well? Surely we should be able to have a couple of, well, damn, this dude's going to come in and do well. No doubts in my mind about this. Surely we're entitled to a few of them. You know, surely we're entitled to a Declan Rice. Surely we're entitled to bring in somebody that will leave us in no doubt that they will improve the squad and the team. We always have to take a punt. We always have to trust somebody. Trust the coach, trust the manager, trust the recruitment team, trust that it will come good. There's always a bit of give on our side in these things, but when do we ever start acting like Liverpool Football Club? When do we go out and actually make a statement that we want to win, that we're here to succeed and win trophies and not make up numbers and scrape in the back door of the Champions League? We are now that lad who's 6 or 7 points and a couple of shots deep in a nightclub, 15 minutes to go, the DJ's getting towards the end, you know the bangers are coming out because it's near the end of the night, and we're left looking around the dance floor to see what munter we can actually get our hands on. You know, you're getting a little bit randy and your standards have lowered because you're at the end of the night now. And, you know, and this applies to ladies as well, by the way. I'm not being sexist here. I'm sure ladies drop their standards as well if they're feeling a bit promiscuous. That's where we're at right now. We're on the dance floor begging for a ride and will take anything to satisfy that urge. Whereas at the start of the night, when we had hopes and dreams and ambition, we were wanting a 10 out of 10, right? And that's where we're at. Enjoy your munter, because that's what's going to happen. I think this season Manchester City aren't going to be the same powerhouse that they were in recent seasons for a few reasons. Reason one is we know only too well the hangover from a campaign where you play every possible game. So City had a treble, won a European Cup, a Premier League title, and a domestic cup. So they've played those minutes. They're in their legs. They're mentally fatigued. I can only imagine the mental drain on trying to stay fresh to win everything you can win. So they have that. They also have the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is now out for a good while, and I'd say will be very fortunate to get back to the levels he was at and to do so consistently. So there's an opportunity in my mind for Liverpool or Arsenal or somebody to go there and stop City this year. And God, I'd love it to be us. And as I said, we've the makings of a great squad, but we just don't have the depth, and we can't. It's unconscionable to me that we didn't learn the lessons about this with the defensive crisis and the midfield crisis, and we're still here. Still coming up a little bit short. I think Darwin will be top 3 in the Ballon d'Or next year. Oh, look, I'm so happy for Darwin, by the way. He deserves that moment. Hearing some of the crap that's been thrown at him, mainly opposition fans who just call him another Andy Carroll, you can see what it meant to him. You know, you look at him, you think, you want him to succeed because he gives it all. And sometimes that all will end up coming up a bit short, or we'll be frustrated, but God, the times it doesn't. The times where it all clicks like it did in those few minutes against Newcastle, that makes it all worthwhile. Those moments where Darwin puts it all together and you're left speechless at what you've just witnessed. That's why he's worth it. That's why we need to encourage him. That's why we need to keep believing in the kid. Because, oh my God, if he can put it together, there is the makings of a superstar in that young man.